Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, only licensed instructors can teach drivers, says JCF. The Jamaica Constabulary Force is reminding the public that under the new Road Traffic Act, it is illegal to teach someone to drive unless you are a licensed driving instructor. The warning is particularly aimed at the parents who traditionally teach their children how to drive using their personal vehicles. A member of the JCF's Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement Branch, Superintendent Lloyd Darby, has emphasized that the new Road Traffic Act strictly prohibits individuals from teaching others to drive unless they are licensed instructors or operating within a certified driving school. So no longer can a parent just put an L learner driving sign on a vehicle and teach their child to drive, Darby told the news. You have to go through the legal framework of a certified driving school or with a licensed instructor. That is a key element of the new road traffic regulations. Licensed driving schools and instructors must obtain the necessary certification to be authorized to teach individuals how to drive. Darby also emphasized that learner drivers can only drive a vehicle under the supervision of licensed driving instructors. Meanwhile, head of the JCF's Constabulary Communication Network, Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay, noted that when parents allow their underage children to drive their vehicles and they don't have a license, they are not covered by insurance. Then they go out and get into situations, sometimes accidents involving other persons, she said. It creates another situation, and in many of those instances, once it can be proven that the parents had knowledge, they too can be charged for aiding and abetting in that type of offense, she added. Lindsay further stressed that even if a parent believes their child can drive, they should not be on the road unless they are properly certified by obtaining a driver's license through the official channels. Multiple detentions in Manchester police operation. A number of people were detained on Wednesday in operations across Manchester. The arrests were made under a security initiative dubbed Operation Restore. Deputy Superintendent Kerry Duncan, commanding officer for the Manchester Police, said a series of operations were conducted in an effort to restore public order. He said the focus of the latest operation was on southern, central and northern sections of the parish.
Persons were arrested and charged for breaches of the law reform and on suspicion of robberies. I just want to implore the persons in Manchester that in recent times we have instituted some curfews in the space, just for you to understand that it is not our wish to limit the movement of anyone within the parish. However, where we find we have issues where crime and disorder is taking place, then as a police force, we have to respond. And certainly curfews is one of the tools that we use to ensure that law and order is maintained.
Police Commissioner vows to continue pursuing criminal networks. Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake is promising that the police will continue to locate and dismantle criminal networks across the island. This comes on the heels of Wednesday's fatal shooting of a man said to be a high-ranking member of the Spanish Town-based Klansman gang, allegedly during a confrontation with the police near Christiana, Manchester. He has been identified as 55-year-old Richard Evans, also called Richie, of Mollison District near Christiana. The police say a semi-automatic pistol was taken from him. Dr. Blake said the police will not be complacent in its efforts to protect the communities from criminals. He promised that the Jamaica Constabulary Force will continue to stand as a barrier between criminals and the law-abiding citizens. The commissioner is also urging civilians to play their part in assisting the police to tackle criminals. He was speaking on Wednesday during a ceremony to hand over a newly built police station in Lacovia, St. Elizabeth.
We know that crime is a dynamic, ever-evolving threat, and we must remain vigilant and unyielding in our efforts to protect our communities. And I say this without hesitation. We will not surrender our homes, our businesses, or our communities to criminals. There are those who seek to destabilize and terrorize law-abiding citizens of this nation, but the JCF will always stand firm as a barrier between them and our people. I urge every resident of Locovia to stand united in the fight against crime, being tolerant to criminality in all its forms. Work alongside us, support your local police, and together we will continue to keep this community safe. Together we will drive down crime even further and build a Jamaica where peace, security, and security are the foundation upon which our citizens can thrive.
Greater Portmore High switches to online classes today because of sewage stench. Classes at Greater Portmore High School in St. Catherine will be conducted online today as the teachers remain disgruntled over the long-standing problem of a stench emanating from the nearby sewage treatment plant operated by the National Water Commission. Teachers staged a sit-in at the school on Wednesday, resulting in students being dismissed early. The school's principal, Ricardo Ross, said despite the promises from the NWC, the stench continues to affect the school population. An urgent resolution is needed, he stressed, saying the school's stakeholders are anxious to hear from the ministers responsible for water, education, and health because the staff is not in a position or not willing to entertain any form of discussions from the National Water Commission again because they are not sticking to their word. Mr. Ross is also concerned about the health implications, revealing that staff members and the students have been falling sick on a weekly basis.
And based on what the staff is saying, they want to hear something from the Minister of Water, the Minister of Education, and the Minister of Health in this matter, because the staff is not in a position or is not willing to entertain any form of discussion from the National Water Commission again, because they are not sticking to their word. It is terrible, Mr. Moore. Terrible to the point where teachers and other staff members are getting sick on a weekly basis. Terrible to the point where students are getting sick on a weekly basis. The visit to the doctor has become so regular, and this is also causing major disruption in the teaching learning process, because the odor, the stench that is coming over, there are some days that you not even eat you want to eat.
Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.